Thousands start Texas businesses every year with great ideas and drive. But most hit a wall. They don't know where to start or what it costs. Good news! Texas is one of the most business-friendly states. No personal income tax and a clear filing system make this process very straightforward. Here is the roadmap. Name your business, appoint an agent, file with the state, pay the fee, create an agreement, get an EIN, and open an account. Total DIY cost is typically $300 to $500. The $300 state fee is mandatory. Services or attorneys add another $100 to $500 on top. An LLC is a legal shield. It separates your personal assets, like your home and savings, from your business debts and legal liabilities. Unlike a sole proprietorship, an LLC prevents creditors from chasing your personal property. For $300, it's the most cost-effective legal protection available. LLCs offer tax flexibility. You're taxed as a disregarded entity by default, but can elect S-Corp status later to save on self-employment taxes. This is especially powerful in Texas, where we have no state income tax. You only deal with federal taxes and the annual franchise tax report. First step, pick a name. It must be unique and include limited liability company, or LLC. Avoid restricted words like bank or insurance without permission. Check your name's availability on the Texas Secretary of State's website. You can also reserve it for 120 days for a $40 fee. Step 2. Choose a registered agent. This person or service receives legal papers for your business. They must have a physical address in Texas. You can be your own agent, but most people hire a professional service to keep their home address off public records. Expect to pay $100 to $150 a year. Step 3. File Form 205. This is your certificate of formation. You'll need the name, registered agent, and whether the LLC is member or manager managed. In a member-managed LLC, the owners run the day-to-day. In manager-managed, you appoint specific people to handle operations. Submit your filing through SOS Direct. The $300 fee is non-refundable, so double-check every single letter of your information before clicking Submit. Once the state approves, you'll receive a certificate of filing. This is your LLC's birth certificate. Keep it in a safe, digital, and physical place. Now you enter the void. The state has your money, but you aren't fully legal until you have an operating agreement. Texas doesn't require you to file this with the state, but without it, your personal assets are at risk if you are ever sued. The operating agreement outlines how decisions are made, how profits are split, and what happens if a partner wants to leave or the business closes. If you're a single-member LLC, it proves that the company is a separate entity and not just your personal bank account. This is vital for liability. Next, get your EIN from the IRS. Think of this as a social security number for your business. It is free and takes 10 minutes on the IRS website. You need an EIN to open a bank account, hire employees, and file your business taxes. Never pay a third party to get this for you. Now, the bank. Take your certificate of filing, EIN, and operating agreement to a bank and open a dedicated business checking account. Never, ever mix personal and business money. If you use your business card for a personal steak dinner, you just pierce the corporate veil. Piercing the veil means a court can ignore your LLC and allow creditors to take your house and personal savings to pay business debts. Keep it clean. Pay yourself by transferring profit from the business account to your personal account and recording it as a member draw. Once you have the account, you are officially open for business. But don't forget the local level. Check if your city requires a general business permit. Depending on what you sell, you may also need a Texas sales tax permit. This is also free and handled through the Texas Comptroller's website. You are through the setup. Now comes the climb. Maintaining your LLC is just as important as starting it. Every year by May 15th, you must file a franchise tax report and a public information report with the Texas Comptroller. Most small businesses in Texas owe zero franchise tax because their revenue is below the threshold, but you still must file the No Tax Due report. If you miss this deadline, the state will fine you $50 and eventually revoke your LLC's good standing, which kills your liability shield. The Public Information Report, or PIR, simply updates the state on who is running the company and where the registered agent is located. Good standing is essential for getting business loans, signing major contracts, or eventually selling the company. Stay compliant. If you ever change your registered agent or your business address, you must file a Change of Registered Agent Office form with the state. This filing costs $15. It ensures the state always knows where to send legal notices. Never let your agent info become outdated. As you grow, you might hire employees. This triggers new requirements: workers' comp, unemployment tax, and payroll tax filings. Texas is a right-to-work state, but you should still have clear employment agreements to protect your LLC from labor disputes. If your LLC expands outside of Texas, you will need to register as a foreign LLC in those other states. This involves more fees and reports. The climb never truly ends, but it gets easier as you build systems. Use accounting software to track every penny from day one. The turn is when things get complicated. Let's talk about what happens when you want to change your business structure or close it down. To change your LLC's name or management structure, you must file a certificate of amendment. This costs $150. If you want to add a new member or partner, your operating agreement should outline the process. Don't just do it with a handshake. Changing from a single-member LLC to a multi-member LLC changes your tax status with the IRS. You'll need to update them immediately. What if you want to close your Texas LLC? You can't just walk away. You must formally dissolve it to stop tax obligations and liability. First, all members must vote to dissolve. Then, you must file a certificate of termination with the Secretary of State. The fee is $40. Before filing for termination, you must get a certificate of account status from the comptroller showing all taxes are paid in full. If you don't dissolve properly, the state will keep expecting tax reports and can eventually sue the members for unpaid fees. Another turn is the S-Corp election. This doesn't change your LLC status with the state, only how the IRS taxes your profits. S-Corps can save you money on self-employment taxes once your profit is high enough, usually around $50,000 to $60,000 a year. Talk to a Texas CPA before making this turn. It adds complexity to your payroll and tax filings, so make sure the savings outweigh the costs. Every business turn requires updated paperwork. Keep a corporate binder, digital or physical, with every form you've ever filed. Let's also cover what happens after the LLC is formed if your business circumstances change. Texas allows you to update your entity through a certificate of amendment, Form 424. If you decide to move your business from another state into Texas, you have two primary options: domestication or foreign registration. But what happens if you do everything right at the start, but then lose focus on the maintenance? This is where many Texas LLCs collapse. Piercing the corporate veil is another way the protection can collapse. This happens when a court decides the LLC is just an alter ego of the owner. The lack of an operating agreement is the third major collapse point. In Texas, if you don't have your own operating agreement, state law provides a default set of rules. If your LLC collapses, the financial fallout can be devastating. It isn't just about the business debt, it's about the lawsuits that can follow you home. Even if you avoid a total legal collapse, the cost of fixing a neglected LLC is much higher than the cost of maintaining one. The most painful part of an LLC collapse is that it is almost always preventable. It doesn't happen because of a lack of money, it happens because of a lack of a system. The collapse stage is where we see the hobbyists separated from the pros. A hobbyist views the LLC as a piece of paper they bought. We have seen how the shield can crack. Now let's talk about how to make it unbreakable. It starts with a simple compliance-first mindset. If you are currently in a collapse state, if you missed a deadline or commingled funds, stop and fix it today. The collapse is optional. The protection is a choice. By following the steps in this blueprint, you are choosing to be protected. Final stage, lockdown. This is where we verify your operational readiness and secure your business future. You have the LLC, the EIN, and the bank account. Now you need to protect the work. Lockdown step 2, insurance. The LLC protects your personal assets, but it does not protect your business assets from loss. Don't let the paperwork stop you. The $300 fee is an investment in your protection and your future growth in the Lone Star State. Remember, this script is a guide, not legal advice. For complex partnerships, always have a qualified Texas attorney review your documents. You now have the blueprint. The wall is gone. It's time to file your paperwork and make your Texas business a reality. Final check. Name secured? Agent hired? $300 ready? If yes, go to SOS Direct and start your journey today. Good luck. To recap the costs, $300 for the state, $150 for an agent, and roughly $50 for local permits. That's your startup budget. To recap the timeline, 1 hour for the name, 30 minutes for filing, and about 3 days for state approval. To recap the protection, your home, car, and personal savings are now shielded from business risks. That is peace of mind. You are ready. Texas is waiting for your contribution to the economy. Take the first step. The $300 is just a fee, the LLC is just a form, but the business you build is yours forever.